Hey guys, so are you scared of GDPR? So basically, what is GDPR? Everyone is talking about it right now, so it basically translates as General Data Protection Regulation. It's a piece of EU legislation passed by European Parliament in 2016, and it goes into force on 25th of May. And basically, it's pretty tough regulation on your privacy. So basically, GDPR is about how other companies can control your data. So it's actually pretty tough, and there are pretty high fines for companies which do not use this GDPR rule. So it can be 18 million pounds or 4% of global annual turnover. So it's a lot of money, but basically all this GDPR campaign is targeted against these tech giants like Facebook, Google, Apple, all other companies like that, which are using a lot of data, especially in EU, and like EU bureaucrats don't really like it, and EU citizens especially. So that's why it's a problem here in Europe. So a few points, just maybe you are a blogger, or like you just running a website, or you are running a company, something. So does it affect you? Are you scared of GDPR? So there are a few points you need to check out. So first of all, if your company is not based in EU, so for example in States or Canada, will it still affect you? So yes, because even if your company is based in US, but you have customers coming from European Union, still you will need to comply with GDPR rules. So that's kind of tricky. For example, United Kingdom is still kind of in European Union, so it also needs to comply, but it doesn't depend on like are you in European Union or out. It just depends if your customers are from your European Union. So basically any website or blog, any company which has customers from European Union needs to comply with that. So it's kind of like a tricky regulation, and it's just important to notice that it's not kind of like in a finished state. So I think there will be much more improvements to that and updates on that further down the road. So as other publications are stating out, there were already spent around like $8 to $9 billion around the world to comply with this GDPR regulation. So it's a lot of money. But what if you are just like running a small blog or YouTube channel? But let's just start with the blog. So you're running blog. What are you need to be worried, or what could be your steps? So first of all, the most used tool in the blogs is of course like email subscription, newsletter and stuff. So you're using maybe a lot of pop-ups, like downloadables, ebooks to get people's emails. So basically, if you have customers from EU, or like it's like a European blog, you will basically need to have a checkbox and get a person's consent to send you email. Even if it's just a sign-up form or demo form, you will still need to have a checkbox where there is something like I agree with your privacy policy and terms and conditions. So that's like an important thing to do, and it has to be active consent. So it can't be a passive agreement. So what does it mean? So you can't just write below the form by submitting this form, I'm agreeing to GDPR rules. So you can't do that. So there should be checkbox. It shouldn't be checked. So user has to check it while submitting the form, and then only then it works. So why you need that? Because in GDPR you need to be able to show permissions when the user submitted this form. So not only you need like him to check this box, but you need to be stored in a way that you can show exact date when user submitted this form. So ideally in your database, or I don't know, WordPress, MailChimp, you would have like a row where it says this user gave consent to send him emails on this date. So this would be a perfect solution. Of course, you need to look again at your cookie messages. So you need to show that you're storing cookies. What about cold emails? Can you just like get some emails and bulk send them? So that would be a problem, right? Especially if you purchased some email list and start bulk sending emails to unknown people. So that would be a problem, and that would break the rule. I'm not sure about if you just like found an email on a website and sent a specific problem like relevant email to that person, if that would break the rule, but probably not. So because it's like it's a common sense. If the person puts out their email on a website, it means that it's okay. So that's about that. So basically you can send cold emails, but you need to be careful, and they should be really relevant, and then you need to be really careful with follow-ups. So you can't send like 10 emails to that email, especially if person said I don't want to be contacted. So yeah, of course you can't share your data with third-party actors. So for example, you had some giveaway in your YouTube channel or blog, and you collected like 100 emails. So you can't share this list with some other people, or if people want to buy this list from you, you can't do that, because it also will break the law. Another important notice, basically, if you want to subscribe people for your newsletter, you will need to have 2 checkboxes. So one checkbox would be for privacy policy, and another checkbox for marketing permissions. So maybe you have seen MailChimp sent a lot of updates and about marketing permissions in their like sign-up forms. So you will need to do that. Firstly, you will need to reconfirm all your email subscribers. If, for example, it can be quite painful. So if you have like 30,000, 50,000 email subscribers, GDPR requires you to send reconfirmation email. So you need to prove that you have a consent, right? So you will need to resend email to all these users and ask them for consent, so that you can prove that they agreed exactly for you to send your emails. And when you're collecting new subscribers, as I said, you will need to have 2 checkboxes. One checkbox for agreeing to privacy policy and terms and conditions, and second checkbox for agreeing to send marketing materials. So that's kind of complicated stuff a lot, but that's how it is. So so basically, as I have seen, these are my main things you have to do when you have a small blog. For example, of course, there are like hundreds of other things you need to look at. It's actually quite complicated stuff. I think personally it's too much bureaucracy. It makes it a bit harder for new bloggers to start it out. So some of this stuff, I think it's a bit of unnecessary, but probably it's just a first step in protecting privacy, as it's a huge issue right now with Facebook and stuff which is going on. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this trick. And you can answer a question in the comments below. Do you think GDPR a good thing or it's too much bureaucracy? So just like answer this question. So thanks for watching.